Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here, and I wanted to talk about the updated Suzuki Hayabusa. That's right, we thought emissions restrictions had killed off what was at one time the world's fastest motorcycle, but the Hayabusa soars again in 2021 with an updated version that most importantly meets regulations for Euro 5, keeping some feathers in the game. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. No, not the Hayabusa, the culture around this bike. The bike has a cult following of riders who appreciate the machine for what it is or what it can be. It's also a well-memed topic, with the Turbo Hayabusa becoming a popular joking reference when someone asks about the best beginner motorcycle. Then there's those that belittle the mighty Hayabusa and seem to look at the spec sheet and assume it's a straight line rocket ship. Well, that's far from the truth if you ask me. The last generation Hayabusa may have been heavy, but the level of refinement and road manners was top of class. Hustling it through the super tight twisty stuff may not have been at supersport levels for sure, but through the flowing twisties it was an amazing machine. Rock solid, planted, on rails, with ridiculous levels of performance easily within reach. The Hayabusa was capable of both scaring the crap out of you and making ridiculous speeds seem quite effortless. Now sure, I think all motorcycles are special within reason, but there was something extra special about the Hayabusa. Now before I get into the updates, here's a quick rundown of the pricing announced so far. In the US, the 2022 Hayabusa will be $18,599 MSRP. In the UK, it's £16,499, and here in Australia, our right-away pricing, so that's on the road, is $27,690. Early rumours and speculation also suggested the new Hayabusa would see a capacity boost, but that's not the case. Suzuki have taken a hit on performance with the Hayabusa, but are promising it's faster than ever regardless. The 1340cc liquid-cooled 4 is now Euro 5 as mentioned, and the focus was on efficiency and durability. Suzuki also promised smoother and more consistent output, and I'd have said the Hayabusa was already buttery smooth. Looking at the dynos Suzuki have provided, one thing is clear: the new Hayabusa has a much stronger low to mid range, particularly when it comes to torque, even if the peak torque and horsepower figures aren't quite as high, with both also dropping off a little more at the top end than on the previous model. Claim performance is now 140 kilowatts at 9,700 RPM and 150 Newton meters of torque at 7,000 RPM. That's down 4 kilowatts and 5 Newton meters to reach Euro 5, so not bad really, keeping in mind the old model was only Euro 3. 0 to 100 kilometer times also look to have dropped 0.2 seconds, with top speed unchanged at 186 miles per hour or 299 kilometers. Interestingly, fuel economy is down from almost 50 miles per gallon to 42 miles per gallon. I could convert that to metric, but I mean, it gives a decent idea of the efficiency you're getting there on the fuel side of things. Naturally, the exhaust is also new and now stuffed with cats of the catalytic converter type, with a much sportier profile and saving 2 kilograms. Now talking about that 2 kilo weight saving in the new exhaust, the actual Hayabusa itself is now 2 kilos lighter than the outgoing model, coming in at 264 kilos altogether, and that is despite all of the additional technology being fitted to the bike. And obviously there's a lot more changes there to achieve all of this in the engine department, but I'm not going to cover it now because it's kinda technical. What we do get on the new Hayabusa is a full-on electronics package under the SIRS moniker, with ride modes, traction control, power modes, bidirectional quick shifter, anti-lift, engine brake control, just for starters. Then you've got a speed limiter, launch control with 3 modes, emergency stop signals, which I'd assume is just an indicator toggle, easy start, low RPM assist, cruise control, combined brakes, motion track brakes, slope dependent control, and heel hold control. So, a lot. You still get the traditional clocks too, now with a TFT display wedged in between them for the best of 2 worlds. On the chassis side of things, we're seeing updated KYB suspension without any big changes, but Suzuki are promising revised internals. The frame is also updated, although this seems to mainly pertain to the subframe. Brakes are bumped up as well, from the Brembos received in 2013 up to the higher spec Stylema calipers we now normally see on higher end machines. Rotors are 320mm. Worth noting here is that motion track brakes are Suzuki's way of stating lean sensitive ABS, while people may be less impressed with the linked braking system. Also new is 7-spoked wheels and new Bridgestone tyres fitted. On the rider ergonomics, bars have been brought 12mm closer to the rider for a less stretched out riding position. Finally, styling is heavily updated, offering a new LED headlight with an overall look that brings the Hayabusa more in line with the new Gixxer family, with much more family resemblance in that nose and front fairing area. Lights are actually LED all around too, and the overall look of the bike is still patently Hayabusa, but a little more aggressive and streamlined to my eye. Certainly an improvement in my mind, however that's going to be a subjective judgment. So is the new Hayabusa what people expected? It certainly ticks all the boxes for me, but I'm not really someone who obsesses about bikes having more power than the outgoing model. It'll be interesting to see how the new bike feels and if it carries across that iconic Hayabusa character. I can't see that not being the case, and it's great to see this model won't be regulated to the history books quite yet. Anyway, Suzuki are encouraging people to get their pre-orders in ASAP here in Australia, with the date they suggest to get into the first shipment of bikes probably having passed by the time I get this video live, but if you're keen to get your hands on one, possibly a good idea to put your name down now. Let me know what you think, and as always, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.